Everybody needs good neighbors with a little understanding. You can find the perfect blend. Neighbors should be there for one another. That's when good neighbors become good friends.
Listen, if there's one thing I can't hack, it's women fooling around behind their husbands' backs.
What are you talking about?
Oh, don't come it with me. You're married, aren't you? Well, aren't you?
How did you find out?
None of your business.
Since you seem to know all about it, who's my husband?
Look, I don't care who he is. I don't care if he's the Ayatollah. Just stay away from my son, that's all.
I get the picture. You're sacking me because you think I'm after your son.
Now, look. He hasn't had much experience with women, and especially not women like you.
What do you mean, women like me?
I mean women who treat their marriage vows as a joke. Women who can't wait to open a bed with another man the minute their husband's back's turned. That's what I mean.
You've got the wrong idea. All right, I gave Shane a kiss, but that hardly constitutes a passionate love affair.
Yeah, well, maybe not. I know where these things lead. I keep my eyes open. I know all about this permissive society.
You might be an expert on the permissive society, but I'm not, so don't you dare judge me by your standards.
Look, there's nothing wrong with my standards. More people had my standards, we'd be a lot better off. Now, just you get out. Get out of my house and keep away from my son!
Hey, I was going to give you a call. What's this I hear about Dad giving you the sack?
That's the way it goes.
Well, what'd he do it for?
Shane, it's a long story. Can we talk about it at dinner?
Yeah, sure.
See you then.
Right. See ya. Dad, what's going on here?
What?
I want to know why you fired Terry.
I told you before, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I do. Now, come on, what's the story?
All right, I'll tell you. She refused an out-of-town job, so I sacked her. Fair enough?
Oh, for God's sake, Dad, how could you be so petty?
It is not petty. That sort of attitude can cost me money, so I sacked her. Fair enough? Still got some rights.
Yeah, well, so has Terry. No wonder she was upset. Well, I'll hear her side of it tonight.
Hey, hang on a minute. You're going to say you're still going out with her?
Look, just because you don't get along with her makes no difference.
Oh, yeah? How about if I told you she's married? Would that make a difference?
Terry married?
That's right. Now, you wouldn't want to get tangled up with a married woman, would you?
We are not tangled up. We're just two friends going out to dinner.
Oh, yeah? What were you having when I caught you? Entree?
Oh, come off it, Dad. It was just a friendly kiss.
Yeah, well, it looked more than friendly to me. Anyway, if you're such great friends, how come she never told you she was married?
Dad, Terry's personal life is her own business, not yours, especially now that you've fired her. If she wants to tell me about it, I'm sure she will.
No, I'm sure she won't, because you're not going to see her again.
Dad!
Shane, be sensible! Face the facts. I mean, you're a young bloke, she's a married woman. You can make a real mess of your life getting mixed up with her.
I'm only going out on a date.
Not with her, you're not. Listen, I don't want to hear any more about it. I forbid you to see this girl.
Tough.
Go. And have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Did you see the new manager when he arrived?
Trust me to be running late on his first morning.
No, I didn't. Gosh, he must have got in early.
Hope he's not as crabby as old Arnold was. And I hope he hasn't got an ambitious son.
Marilyn, Mr. Arnold was not crabby. He was just efficient in everything he did.
Okay, but you can have a sense of humour as well as being efficient.
Marilyn, I don't think you take your work seriously enough. This is a bank, after all, not an amusement park.
It'll be nice if you remember that you're just an employee like me. You're so bossy anyone would think you owned the place, let alone managed it.
Oh.
We've no right to...
Can you see Mr. Martin now? Certainly.
Good luck.
Come in. Ah, Julie Robinson, isn't it? I'm the old buzzard, also known as Philip Martin. Please, have a seat.
Look, I'm sorry
No,
about
look,
earlier.
seriously, I don't want you to think another thing about that. I've worked for quite a few bank managers in my time, and believe me, some of them were old buzzards.
Really?
Oh, yes. And I've probably been called a lot worse myself. Please. Naturally, I want this place to run smoothly, efficiently.
Yes.
And that means making it a pleasant, friendly place to work.
Oh, well, it is.
Oh, I'm sure it is. And as you know, running a bank is a team effort. And the better the team gets along, then the better the bank runs. That's why I like to get to know my fellow workers, my teammates.
Ah, you make it sound like a sport.
Well, I have learnt quite a bit about teamwork through sport, and I'm hoping to see a lot of both now down here.
The bank moves you around a lot, does it?
Yes, it does, but that's part of the job.
Oh, yes. Must make it difficult for your family. Are these your children?
Yes, little terrors. Michael there is 7 and Debbie's 9.
Oh, same age as my sister. They go to school locally?
No, they're with their mother in the country. But tell me something about yourself, Julie. Do you live at home?
Yes, with the family. My father, my 2 brothers, my sister, and my grandmother. My mother died.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So we get along really well, most of the time anyway.
And what about interests, Julie, or does Pacific keep you too busy?
Well, I'm not one for team sports, but I do play tennis. I read a lot, you know, just the usual things.
Oh, what do you like to read?
Well, nothing really heavy. I actually prefer historical novels.
Really?
I've read Shogun twice, so...
You're doing well just to pick the damn thing up. And have you read any of the Hornblower series?
At C.S. Forrester, yes, I have.
They're marvellous, aren't they? Do you ever cheat?
Cheat?
Read the last page first.
Sometimes.
Oh, I think we've all been guilty of that at some stage.
Yes.
Well, I've got a few more people to see. Marilyn Templar's next. Would you mind letting her know?
Yes, of course.
I've enjoyed our little talk.
Oh, thank you.
And if you ever have any problems, then you know where to come.
Yes.
And Julie, it's nice to see there's some fellow romantics amongst us boring bankers.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Julie, what's he like?
Huh?
Can you manage? You've just seen him. What's he like?
Mr. Martin.
Yes, Mr. Martin. Is he all right?
Yes, he seems decent enough. Oh, he wants to see you too.
I haven't done anything.
Don't be silly, Marilyn. He wants to meet all the staff.
Oh, of course. Do I look all right?
Oh, for goodness sake, get in there, girlie. You will be in trouble.
There, Jim?
You're coming, Max.
Hey, mate, how you going?
I'm fine. What can I do for you?
Oh, I just felt like a bit of a talk, so.
Sure, sit down.
That stuff important?
You wait. What's the problem?
Kids. That's a problem.
Well, that's nothing new. Which one this time?
Shane, that flaming woman.
Which flaming woman? Daphne?
No, Terry.
What's wrong with her? She seems like a really nice girl.
Nice girl. Do you know she was married?
There's no law against that.
Yeah, well, there ought to be. I mean, the way she went after Shane, I mean, it's bad enough having the stripper hanging around him, but at least she was single.
You've got to remember that Shane's a very good-looking young lad. It's only natural girls are going to be...
It's not natural for a bloke his age to get involved with a married woman.
Do you know they're actually getting involved?
I've seen them. Mate, I caught them kissing.
Well, doesn't necessarily prove anything.
Oh, look, you're starting to sound as bad as them.
Does she live with her husband? Does she? Or are they separated?
I don't know.
Well, there you go. Shane's young, but he's not stupid. The worst thing you can do is jump to conclusions. It'll sort itself out.
Is that Terry I'd like to sort out? Kids. You do your best to protect them, and they still get into strife.
Max, protecting your kids is one thing. We all want to do that. But living their lives for them is something else. They have to make their own mistakes. Anyway, is Shane and Terry what this is really all about?
What do you mean?
I know what you feel inside, mate. Believe me, I do. But I think you're using Terry as an excuse.
Now, look,
I'm sorry, mate. I really do. I think this has got more to do with Maria and your feelings for her and the fact that she was unfaithful to you all those years ago. You still haven't got that out of your system, have you?
Not surprising, is it?
No, that's not the point. Blaming Shane and Terry is. It's not fair, and you know it.
I still don't like what's going on between them two.
Well, there's a lot we don't like about being parents, mate. But sometimes you just got to learn to let go.
Thought I was going to get some sympathy. Didn't know you'd be in one of your straight talking moods.
Well, we could sit around moaning about it all afternoon if you like, but that's not going to do much good, is it?
No. No.
Julie?
Hello, Mr. Martin.
Are you off home?
No, actually, I'm going to the shopping centre.
Well, are you walking?
No, I'm getting the bus.
Well, I'd be very happy to give you a lift.
Oh, no, that's very kind of you.
It's no trouble.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
All right, well, as long as it's not taking you out of your way.
Of course not. Just point us old buzzers in the right direction and we'll fly you anywhere.
I deserve that.
The thing is, Jim, he tells me to behave like an adult, then he goes and does something which is really childish.
Yeah, sounds a bit extreme, all right. Give him a few days to calm down. He might change his mind and take Terry back. Even Max admits she's a good worker.
But how could he be so petty? And look, he's dead wrong about me and Terry.
You have just discovered the secret of the ages, my son. Fathers make mistakes.
Yeah, well, mine certainly does.
Shane, it might sound like a cliche. Maybe it is a cliche, but whatever Max does, he does it for your sake. Perhaps he's just trying a little bit hard at the moment.
Way too hard. He just doesn't give me credit for any sense at all.
Even I've had to remind him what a well-adjusted bloke you are. For the most part.
Oh, gee, thanks, Jim.
Oh, what a neighbour's for. Yeah, Max can be a bit overprotective. And I know that causes problems. Especially when a kid your age wants... Sorry, I'm sorry. Young adult wants to handle things himself.
I guess I can understand in a way. Caring, but trying not to interfere. You just imagine what it'll be like when I have kids. I'll make a real mess of it.
There'll be a whole new set of problems then. That's why I don't think the generation gap will ever be bridged. The worries I had when I was a kid seem trivial compared with the things that happened to Paul and Scott. Shane, I've never talked to you about breaking my promise and telling Max that you knew the truth about Danny.
Yeah?
Well, I'm not going to apologise for what I did because I honestly think I did the right thing. It's just that I did betray your trust.
Ah, forget it, Jim. But I'm still very worried about Danny. We can't keep it from him forever. But how do you tell him? Look, kid, I'm sorry, but... Well, you know your father. Well, he's not your father really at all.
Oh, hang on a moment.
No, look, I better get going, Jim, so I'll see you, okay?
Okay, mate, but look, just keep it in mind. It's better than having an old man who didn't give a damn, isn't it? See you. Jim Robinson.
Oh, hello, Dad, it's me.
Hello, darling.
Listen, can you tell Gran that I'll be late home for dinner?
Sure. Anything special?
Oh, well, I've just been invited out for drinks.
What, the girls?
No, with the new bank manager.
Oh, thank you. So I have to start bright and early tomorrow morning. Of course, it's only a chauffeur's job, but, well, it's something.
Could be interesting.
Yeah. But listen, about Dad. Well, you know he blows hot and cold, but well, just give him a couple of days. He'll get over it.
I doubt it.
Listen, I know he behaves like a jerk sometimes. Hell, I had a go at him myself. But really, he's okay once you get to know him.
Maybe. But he's got other reasons for not wanting me around. Around you, anyway.
You mean because you're married?
He told you, of course.
Oh, for sure. Couldn't wait.
Figures.
Yeah, but so what? We'll still be friends, won't we? I mean, it's not like we're, well, serious or anything, and I'm not going to have your jealous husband hunting me down, am I?
Now that you know I'm married, I'd like you to know the rest of it. I've never told this to anyone.
Sure, you can tell me.
I married young. Too young. It was a disaster right from the start. My husband used to live off my wages as an apprentice. Didn't go very far. Then he started to do some dealings. Housebreaking, that sort of thing.
Sounds like a fun guy.
Believe me, living with him was hell. So I left him.
What happened to him?
got ambitious. He robbed the Pacific Bank.
Is Ingalls your married name?
It's my maiden name.
What's your husband's name?
Gordon Miller. Same Gordon Miller that was in your accident. Now you can see why I didn't want anyone to know. I really needed that job, Shane. Can you imagine what your dad would have done if he'd have known? Employing the wife of the crim who hit you.
Yeah.
Even now, I don't want anyone to know. Please don't tell your family.
Don't worry. I won't tell anyone, I promise.
About you, Shane.
Me?
How does this affect our friendship?
I don't know, Terry. It's so much to take.
I understand.
It's just that I'm so confused now. I really just need some time to think.
Sure.
Would you mind if we gave dinner a miss?
Of course not.
Suddenly haven't got any appetite anymore. Morning, Mrs. Fielding.
Where's Collins?
My name's Shane Ramsey, Mrs. Fielding. I'm his replacement.
Why wasn't I informed?
Oh, I don't really know.
I see it very well. You do drive?
Oh, yes. Where are you going, Mrs. Fielding?
We are going to Canberra. They should have told you when they hired you. They're idiots. They knew damn well I was going to Canberra and that I was staying overnight. I knew about all the appointments, so they must have known I needed a driver. Unless the fools expected me to jog everywhere.
I guess they forgot. Anyway, Mrs. Fielding, here we are. I'm just going to run inside and get a few things. I won't be a moment.
Fine. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Oh, well, look who's here. Ramsey Street's answer to Warren Beatty.
Cut it out, Dad.
Come on, aren't you going to tell your old man all about it? The sordid details of your night on the town with a married woman, eh?
Come on, Dad, that's enough.
Now, come on, don't tell me you didn't have a great old time whining and dining.
Yes, we did, as a matter of fact. No thanks to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Terry's still very upset.
Oh, you're breaking me poor old heart. I thought it would. You excuse me if I don't hang about to listen to this drivel. I've got things to do.
Mrs. Fielding.
Ah, nice of you to remember me.
I was just on my way.
Look, I need to use your phone.
Fine. Sure, help yourself. I'll only be a minute.
So you said. Yes, it's Mrs. Fielding here. Could you please tell me why Hodges hasn't fixed the car phone yet? Not again. All right, look, I don't want to hear any more excuses. Give him a week's pay and get rid of him. Now listen, I'm on my way to the airport and I'm running late. Have you made the hotel accommodations? Yes, reservations for 2 for 1 night. And the name is Ramsey. Shane Ramsey.